What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? My name is Matt, this is Hidden Light, and today I want to talk about why smaller prints are better. Let's jump in. Okay, so sometimes you need to see a huge print. You need to see your work printed big. You know, all the stuff you see in galleries takes up huge amounts of wall space. The thing that people maybe don't think about is that galleries are designed to sell you that one statement piece for your home. And that's why they have such huge expansive walls and big beautiful lights. But you can only have really one or maybe two big statement pieces in your house before it starts to get a little cluttered. Like a big piece needs a big wall. After that, you'll find that most people are not going to be buying huge art. They're going to be buying something smaller, something a little more accessible, something, yes, generally a little bit less expensive. So you can put up a 20 by 30 and it takes up your whole existence. And that's great, but if you fill your house with 20 by 30s, you can only have like 4 pieces of art. You know, bigger is not always better. Sometimes it's just bigger. Sometimes you need to scale down so that you can have a closer, more intimate experience with your art. You know, viewing distance on a 20 by 30 is like 4 feet, 3 feet, something like that. There's a very different experience to hanging out with a piece of art that you either hold in your hands or that you stand close to on the wall. So what I'm advocating is instead of printing one massive piece, print like a dozen smaller ones, right? And we're going to talk about smaller. How small is small? Well, smaller is gooder today. Smaller is part of the answer where you can print more of your work, where you can play around with it, where you're not spending oodles of money. So this is on, I don't know, probably 16-inch paper or something. Maybe not even 16 inches, maybe 14 inches. Just a cute little baby one. But it gives me a feeling for what the print was like, right? Same thing here, 11 by 14, no big deal. It's just a tiny little baby one. But because you hold it in your hand, you get to really experience it. So 11 by 14, it's a good accessible size. You can fit like, I don't know, maybe 6 of those on there, right? Even smaller, 10 by 10. It's a great size. Freaking phone's always ringing. We'll just keep that in because that's my life. Okay, how about 8 by 10? You know, as you may know, since you're an avid watcher of this YouTube channel, I've been shooting 8 by 10 this year and printing 8 by 10. And that's like the whole shtick. I'm not shooting 8 by 10 to make enormous prints. I'm shooting 8 by 10 to make 8 by 10. And not only does it allow me to make a bunch of prints in a day, like we've done in the past in the lab time shenanigans, but it allows you to hold the piece of art in your hands, not spend a whole lot of money making it, and really experience it. Then, because it was so cheap and relatively easy to make, you can give it away to people. You're like, hey, here's this piece of art for you. So 8 by 10s are great, and they're super accessible, and they're easy to frame, cheap. You know, like if I give you this print, happy birthday, you could take this to any framing shop anywhere and put it in like a cheap 11 by 14, or even just take it straight to the 8 by 10 frame for like next to no money, hang it up on your wall, or regift it, whatever. No one has to know, right? So 8 by 10 is great. 4 by 5. How small is too small? This is from a series that I did years ago when I was first picking up large format, where I was photographing artists in their studios on 4x5, 4x5, and contact printing to platinum, obviously. But when you give one of these to an artist and they hold it, they don't hold it out, well, I mean, sometimes they hold it out here, but a lot of the times they'll hold it, they'll have a real intimate close-up experience with it. This is my friend Linda Whiting. This one turned out really well, probably the best one of the series that I did. This one of a dude named Sky Black turned out really cool. It's so small, but it's so sharp, you know? And it's just easy, it's just accessible. This one also turned out actually better than it had any right to be. I think I double exposed this sheet of film actually, which is kind of fun. But it looks great. Okay, what's smaller than 4x5? Guys, come on. This is the original Polaroid. This is actually an impossible project. It used to be black and white, and I don't know if you can tell on camera. It's not black and white anymore. It's kind of like a faded brown sepia experience. I shot these on our honeymoon trip to, not honeymoon, anniversary trip to Disneyland. And, you know, you stick a pack of film in. That's a great one. And they're small, they're accessible. You could frame one of these. Put this bad boy up on the wall or give it away. It's not about having your work huge, it's about having your work printed at all. And then you can hold on to these and look through them years later. So cute. Look at that. It's Mickey. Okay, can you go smaller? Sure. 2 1/4 square is pretty cool. There's a guy, I'll do a link to his book, because I don't have it here today, who shoots 2 1/4 square images and then contacts them and then like does books and prints 2 1/4 inches square. They're tiny. And it's a completely different experience. So, little informal challenge to you. Make something small. Smaller than you're used to. Like half the size that you're used to, 1/4 the size that you're used to, and see how your experience interacting with the print changes. Maybe you'll hate it, and that's okay. You're allowed to hate things. It's good to try something and be like, this really sucks. I'm never gonna do this again. Or maybe it'll just, you know, fester away in your brain space. Whoops, memory card's full. No, you get the idea. You know, smaller is better, bigger is bigger. But it doesn't mean bigger is better. Bigger's just plain bigger. So I guess we need to dump this card, and we'll just, you know, we'll leave it. Have a great life. See you in the next one.